The Rabbit, the Predator, and the Whole, Chapter 6, The Fibonacci Code in AI, Decision-Making, and Tactical Growth. In the realm of complexity and strategic growth, there's an invisible thread that connects nature, human intelligence, and artificial intelligence, the Fibonacci sequence. This remarkable pattern, which dictates the spirals of seashells and the branching of trees, surprisingly governs much more than the natural world. It extends into the very fabric of AI, decision-making processes, and tactical growth strategies. This article delves into how the Fibonacci sequence is not just a mathematical curiosity, but a guiding force in systemic intelligence and strategic decision-making. By understanding and applying Fibonacci logic, we can unlock new levels of efficiency, resource allocation, and predictive precision in both AI models and personal growth dynamics. Discover how this ancient mathematical blueprint can inform modern complexity navigation and drive exponential growth. Uncovering the Fibonacci Code in AI and Strategic Growth. Imagine having the keys to unlock the hidden order within complex systems, a code that underpins natural phenomena and extends its influence into the domains of AI and strategic growth. The Fibonacci sequence, a series of numbers where each is the sum of the two preceding ones, is more than an elegant numerical pattern. It's a guiding principle in systemic intelligence. From the Nautilus shell to the stock market, Fibonacci sequences manifest in dynamic systems, guiding growth and optimizing paths through complexity. In the world of AI, these sequences facilitate the architecture of neural networks, shaping models to reflect the harmony found in nature. In strategic decision-making and growth planning, they provide a framework to anticipate change and navigate uncertainty. This exploration will reveal how recognizing and harnessing the Fibonacci pattern transforms chaotic systems into structured opportunities, allowing both AI architects and decision-makers to predict, scale, and tailor their strategies with precision rooted in nature's timeless blueprint. The Rabbit's Perspective, Embracing Fibonacci Growth for Strategic Expansion. In the natural world, the rabbit exemplifies exponential growth, with populations expanding rapidly under favorable conditions, a phenomenon closely mirroring the Fibonacci sequence. Each new generation layers upon the previous, creating a scaling pattern that is not only resilient, but also highly strategic in navigating the complexities of survival. For decision-makers and strategists, adopting the rabbit's growth perspective means leveraging the inherent power of Fibonacci scaling in their expansion efforts. This involves recognizing patterns of growth that are not linear, but exponential, allowing for both expansive reach and strategic depth. By understanding how systems naturally layer growth, whether in nature or in business, leaders can predict and plan for scalability while maintaining stability. Strategic expansion thus becomes an exercise in pattern recognition and adaptation, using Fibonacci principles to ensure each step not only capitalizes on existing infrastructure, but also anticipates future challenges and opportunities. Embracing the rabbit's perspective means cultivating an instinct for when to leap into new territories of opportunity, guided by a foundational understanding of scalable natural growth patterns. The Predator's Perspective, Leveraging Fibonacci Scaling for Strategic Optimization. Viewed through the lens of the predator, nature's balancing force, Fibonacci scaling becomes a tool for precision and optimization. Predators, operating in ecosystems governed by limited resources and high stakes, inherently understand the importance of efficiency. Their survival hinges not only on their ability to pursue potential targets, but also on making the most out of each pursuit, a principle reflected in the Fibonacci sequence. In strategic contexts, this perspective informs the art of resource management and targeted execution. Successful predators exhibit an intuitive grasp of timing and selection, knowing exactly when to strike and when to conserve energy. They align their actions with natural rhythms, allowing Fibonacci scaling to guide their focus towards endeavors that promise maximum returns with minimal wastage. For organizations and leaders, adopting this predator's lens means honing in on opportunities with precision and clear-eyed evaluation of return on investment. The predator's approach demands an acute awareness of the shifting dynamics within any complex system, prioritizing efforts where gratification or success follows a predictable, optimal pattern akin to Fibonacci. By leveraging this scaling, prioritizing actions that follow the Fibonacci sequence, leaders ensure that resource allocation is not only efficient, but designed to align with inherent growth cycles. The predator perspective thus transforms challenges into calculated pursuits of success, crafting strategies that are not just reactive, but deeply attuned to the foundational mathematics of complex systems. A whole's perspective, systemic structures, and Fibonacci patterns. From the perspective of the whole, a metaphor for the broader system itself, Fibonacci patterns reveal the structural logic that governs systemic complexity. The whole represents the environment, the context within which both the rabbit, expansion, and the predator, optimization, operate, embodying the intricate balance of forces at play. Systemic structures, much like Fibonacci sequences, showcase a recursive nature where each layer builds upon the last, creating an ecosystem of interdependent dynamics. This perspective considers how systems inherently organize themselves into predictable patterns that are fractal in nature, repeating across levels of scale and intricacy. Such structuring enables the system to support multifaceted growth, accommodate variation, and maintain balance through cyclical progression. In practical terms, understanding the whole's perspective empowers organizations and leaders to navigate complexity by mapping out these hidden patterns. By identifying points of leverage where Fibonacci scaling dictates the rhythm of change, decision-makers can predict systemic fluctuations and align their strategies accordingly. This insight allows for the anticipation of emergent behaviors in volatile environments, facilitating proactive adjustments and innovations that resonate with the natural laws of complexity. The whole, as a representation of systemic potential and constraint, underscores the importance of seeing beyond immediate actions to grasp the underlying architecture that shapes outcomes. Recognizing Fibonacci sequences as foundational to this architecture provides a lens through which complexity becomes not just navigable, but strategically advantageous. Herein lies the essence of systemic intelligence, using the patterns of nature to inform the pathways of possibility. Tactical systemic intelligence, mastering Fibonacci logic for scalable decision-making. Harnessing the power of Fibonacci logic provides a strategic pathway toward informed and scalable decision-making across diverse domains. By integrating the naturally occurring patterns these sequences represent, leaders and organizations can align their strategies with the inherent efficiencies and rhythms found in complex systems. Fibonacci logic, with its emphasis on growth that builds systematically upon previous layers, encourages a structured approach to scaling. This involves recognizing and leveraging the compound nature of growth opportunities, ensuring that each step taken is both a culmination of previous actions and a foundation for future expansion. This scaling mirrors not just how businesses and technologies should evolve, but how ecosystems thrive, resilient and adaptable. Incorporating Fibonacci principles into decision-making processes allows for smarter resource allocation, ensuring efforts are concentrated where they can achieve the most significant impact with minimal redundancy. It supports a methodical escalation from foundational initiatives to more complex endeavors, reducing risk and enhancing predictability, much like the natural progression observed in biological and environmental systems. Moreover, this approach fosters systemic intelligence and awareness of interconnectedness and interdependence within systems. By using Fibonacci patterns to guide planning, organizations can anticipate changes more accurately, adapt to emerging trends, and capitalize on them swiftly. Whether in market strategy, technological innovation, or resource management, pathways of growth are charted more holistically, considering the cyclical and recursive nature of progress. Ultimately, tactical systemic intelligence rooted in Fibonacci logic is about synchronizing within the grand design of natural processes. It empowers decision-makers to not only survive, but thrive in environments characterized by constant change and complexity, offering a blueprint for success that is at once ancient and innovatively forward-thinking. Actionable strategies. Applying Fibonacci models to enhance strategic growth. To harness the benefits of Fibonacci models, leaders and decision-makers can implement the following actionable strategies to drive strategic growth, predict trends, and optimize resource allocation effectively. 1. Identify scalable opportunities. Begin by recognizing situations or projects that demonstrate potential for exponential growth. Apply the Fibonacci model to analyze these opportunities in terms of current capabilities and future expansion potential. Prioritize initiatives that naturally align with Fibonacci scaling, enabling a structured path of growth. 2. Structured resource allocation. Divide resources in a Fibonacci sequence, ensuring incremental increases are balanced and sustainable. This approach allows businesses to allocate more effectively, incrementally increasing investment in projects that continually demonstrate success and scalability. 3. Predictive planning and trend analysis. Use Fibonacci retracements, a technique borrowed from financial markets, across various business processes to identify emerging patterns in market trends. This predictive model helps forecast points of resistance and potential rebounds, allowing for preemptive strategic adjustments. 4. Cycle-based innovation. Implement innovation cycles that mimic Fibonacci intervals. By pacing innovation efforts to follow a rhythmic pattern, businesses can optimize creative processes, prevent stagnation, and build upon existing advances without overwhelming the system. 5. Risk management through progressive scaling. Use Fibonacci scaling to manage risk by allowing for calculated expansions. Rather than jumping to large increments, businesses move through Fibonacci stages, balancing risk with the potential for reward, ensuring sustainability even in aggressive growth scenarios. SIPs, feedback loop integration. Create feedback loops within your organization modeled on Fibonacci philosophy. Reflect on growth outcomes and use insights to inform future actions. This systematic reflection encourages evolutionary rather than revolutionary changes, promoting steady, development. 7. Training and development. Foster talent development guided by Fibonacci sequences. Start with foundational skills and progressively layer more complex capabilities, ensuring employees grow in a scalable and sustainable manner, paralleling organizational needs. By embedding Fibonacci models into strategic frameworks, organizations can enhance their adaptability, foresight, and growth potential. This structured approach transforms the chaotic nature of complexity into a predictable and manageable process, aligning business strategies with the natural order observed in thriving systems. Closing reflection. Harnessing Fibonacci scaling in complex decision-making and systemic growth. As we navigate the intricate pathways of decision-making and growth, the Fibonacci sequence offers a timeless blueprint. Its presence in nature and systems underscores a pathway to balance between expansion and sustainability, complexity and simplicity. By embracing this logic, we align our strategies not merely with mathematical principles, but with the very fabric of systemic resilience and adaptability. Reflect on how your current frameworks might be enhanced through Fibonacci scaling. Consider where incremental, layered growth can replace erratic expansion, where structured cycles can supplant leaps of faith. How might this shift in perspective optimize your resource allocation? Where in your strategy could Fibonacci scaling pilot enhanced prediction and foresight? What potential exists in viewing organizational growth as a natural, recursive process rather than a linear trajectory? Invite yourself and your team to explore these questions. By integrating Fibonacci scaling, decision makers can transform complexity into clarity, turning potential chaos into orchestrated growth. The advantage lies in seeing beyond immediate challenges to the underlying patterns that guide all successful systems. In what ways will you harness the power of Fibonacci to enhance your journey through the complexity that defines today's strategic landscapes?